Mr. President, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Dobry dzień. I would like to thank you, Mr. President, for hosting this summit in the historical city of Rostov-on-Don today in this beautiful spring afternoon. We have had an excellent summit with open, friendly and fruitful discussions. Before I make some comments, I would like, as a Belgian, not in the first place as a European, like to congratulate the President with the victory of Denis Kosbukin on the world-famous Queen Elizabeth contest for piano in Brussels last Saturday.
Thank you very much.
It shows the close cultural links inside Europe between Russia and the countries of the European Union. I would like to make the following points. First, this summit has been held in a defining time both for the European Union and for Russia. In the Union, we have the new treaty and new institutional actors. Lady Ashton and myself are the products of the Treaty of Lisbon, the child of the Treaty of Lisbon. We are maneuvering in the Union our way through the economic and financial crisis with the aim of coming out stronger than before. Our response to the recent public debt crisis has shown the world that the European Union is capable of acting decisively, and we will continue to do so. The Union has to work hard on financial consolidation and competitiveness and on strengthening our economic structures and growth in the framework of the EU 2020 economic strategy. This is vital for our position on the world stage. Russia is also at crossroads. President Medvedev's ambition to base Russia's modernization in the 21st century on democratic values by building a modern, diversified and dynamic economy and by encouraging the active involvement of civil society is a significant development for Russia. We want to be Russia's partner in modernization. This is why I am glad that we are launching the Partnership for Modernization and that we have agreed on its scope and priorities. I believe this will promote reform and give renewed momentum to our relationship, develop our cooperation on trade, economy and energy security. It will also contribute to the global economic recovery. However, for the partnership to bear fruit, the Russian modernization needs to become a reality, and it needs to follow a certain path and to avoid protectionism. In the light of this, I welcome the renewed momentum in Russia to join the World Trade Organization. In this context, we also talked about the long-term goal of visa-free travel. In my view, contacts between Russian and European business, students, professors and others would enormously strengthen the forces of modernization. We therefore remain committed to making concrete progress as soon as possible on the ground. Second, on the G20 summit in Toronto, I'm happy to see that there is a broad consensus with Russia on a lot of issues. However, as regards the reform of the financial system in particular, this is a top priority for the EU, and we as the EU expect the summit in Toronto to discuss ways to reduce systemic risk and to agree on the principle that the financial institutions should contribute to the costs of any future financial crisis. In Toronto, we have to achieve concrete results, as the President said. We need the same stepwise approach in the climate conference in Cancun in December. My third remark. We have also signed an agreement on protection of classified information, which represents a significant step forward in our relations. This will facilitate cooperation in a wide range of areas, including crisis management and justice and home affairs. Fourth, we also reconfirmed our interest to continue to explore possibilities for cooperation in the field of crisis management, justice and home affairs. We want to build further on our successful cooperation in Chad and in the fight against piracy on the coast of Somalia. Fifth, on human rights. I expressed our appreciation for recent legislative developments in Russia, the ratification of Protocol 14 of the European Convention on Human Rights, the expansion of jury trials nationwide, and the confirmation of the moratorium on the death penalty. However, the situation for human rights defenders and journalists in Russia is of great concern to the European public at large. Another matter of concern, which I noted was shared by the President, is the climate of impunity, in particular in Chechnya and other areas of the North Caucasus. Sixth, we had the chance to discuss a number of international issues. We also welcome the New START agreement on reductions of nuclear weapons with the United States, and we congratulate the President with the result. On Iran, European Union and Russia fully agree. The nuclear program of Iran remains a source of concern. The purpose of the restrictive measures is to bring Iran back to the negotiating table. And we are very happy that the Russian Federation has played a constructive role in the shaping of the draft United Nations Security Council resolution on Iran. We also discussed yesterday's tragic incident in the Middle East and issued a joint statement by High Representative Ashton and Foreign Minister Lavrov. This statement enjoys my full support, also on behalf of the European Union. We regret the loss of lives during the Israeli military operation against the flotilla sailing to Gaza. We demand a full and impartial inquiry and call for an immediate opening of crossings for the flow of humanitarian aid, commercial goods, and people to and from Gaza. Finally, the European Union and Russia share a common interest in improving the security, stability, and prosperity in our common neighborhood. History and geography have made us different, but also neighbors. We are dependent on each other and on the well-being of our neighbors. This has become a common spirit of our continent. In this respect, we would like to see a more constructive role played by Russia, including the implementation of all its earlier commitments, especially with regard to Georgia. To conclude, Russia is a real strategic partner to the European Union. With you, we have a most intensive and dynamic dialogue. With Russia, we do not need a reset. We want a fast forward. Spasiba. Thank you.
Thank you.